A big question when it comes to finding out engagement of users is how the users navigate the website. Do they go from page A to B or page A to C? Do they actually try the event such as, click on a button before they go ahead and do a trial? What kind of a process a general user follows on a website? Okay, we don't know that, but there is a way to find that out in Google Analytics. Let's check that out in this chapter. Alright users, welcome back, and let's quickly go to the screen without wasting any time. And here we have got the exploration section, and we had seen this in the last section as well, okay, the segment overlap. Now what we are going to learn is the path exploration reports, okay. So let's quickly open it and I'll talk about that. Some of you who have used Universal Analytics would have seen these kind of reports before as well, okay. There were these path reports, behavioral reports and all those. So that has been summarized into this report in Google Analytics 4, okay. So let's start seeing what this is all about. Now let's clean this up first. We'll click on start over and everything is cleaned, okay. And let's start from here, start point, drop or select a node. Now let's go with event name first. Let's select the page view because that's where the user journey starts, isn't it? With the page view. Let's open that. All right. So now what you see over here is the page view event, and about 1, 2, 3, 8, 3, 6 times, okay, not the user, this is the number of times this event has been started, okay, that's a page view has been done. And immediately after page view, what has happened is shown over here. Let's open these 15 more as well. Okay, so immediately after page view, these events have happened. Users have seen a promotion. Let's say users have turned into engaged users. Users have done a scroll. The maximum is new recent active users. So users have converted into active users. Okay. And then let's open all of these. All right. And then we have seen this view item list. Okay. We have already discussed about this. So a lot of view item lists have happened. View items have happened directly after page views. Okay. And so on. So now you can take a judgment when you see your website's this kind of path exploration report, that after page views or after certain event, are you expecting the other event or not? Okay. If it is not happening in large, okay, then there is a problem, isn't it? So let's say I click over here in view item list. Okay. And after view item list, I would expect a lot of view items to happen, because once a user sees the list, they would generally click on one of those items and start looking at what's there in that product. Okay. So if I am seeing a very low proportion, this is about 10%, but if I see that it's, let's say 2% or 3%, which means that view item list, where the list of products are being put in front of the users, there is some issue. Okay. Users are moving out and there goes my engagement. Okay. Users are not engaged, right? That's what it means. So that's how you understand this path exploration report. Let's click on view item. And I would expect some add to carts over here, because once a user views an item, some of them would be interested in purchasing it. So about 10% of them, right? 99 of 1093 are adding it to the cart. Maybe it's good or bad, we don't know. It depends on the industry and how this kind of business has been doing traditionally, and all those factors come in. But let's say it's a decent number. And from add to carts, you see that about 59 went non-purchasers, which means that 59 did not purchase anything, while some of them went to view item. And what we are expecting here is maybe checkouts, right? After add to cart. Let's see if we have checkouts or not. So almost no checkouts in this period is what we are seeing. Okay. So that's a bad sign. Now you understand how this path exploration report is helping you. It's able to tell you how users are moving across different events and pages on your website, and whether that makes sense to your business or not. Okay. You could do it in another way. Let's start over again, and you can start with the endpoint. Okay. Let's click on this endpoint. Let's call event name, and we will go for the purchase event this time. Okay, in this period, I think we are not seeing any purchase event. Maybe there is, let's see. Yeah, there is some purchase. Let's click on that. All right, so there are 3,204 purchases in this period that is selected over here. Okay, and before the purchase, so many page views have happened, so many add payment infos have happened, so many view items have happened, and so on. So if I click on page views now, I'll see that before purchase, these page views happened, and before page views, these scrolls happened, and so on. These add payments happened. So this is going in the reverse direction now, right? If I click on add payment info, I'll see again page view happened, because page views are happening every other time, right? Because that's what happens when a page loads. So even if there is an ad payment info that's happening on some page. So that's why we see so many page views, right? And then we see begin checkout has happened over here. In the forward process, we are not able to see this. Let's click on this. And before that, there is add shipping info. And there is review order. Maybe we should have looked for these kind of events. Okay, it's still loading. Let's click here. And there is another set of page views. So this report loads pretty slowly. And there is again a lot of begin checkout. So users are going back and forth probably. Okay, that's the reason we are seeing these kind of orders. And you can keep drilling like this to get to what data you want to see. But it's pretty clear that users are going back and forth and back and forth. And this is an aggregate data. It's showing for the aggregate number of visits and actions that have been taken. If events seem complex to you, what you can do is you can also start with the page names. Okay, for example, you can click on drop of or select the node, and then you can select page title and screen name. Let's start with home over here. And now we can see from home how users are navigating to different pages. Okay, let's open it up again. All right, so from home, users are generally going to this page. It is new Google Merchandise Store page. And then there is men, unisex apparel, and so on. And there are hundreds of such pages which users are going to. Okay, so now you have to see that whether this makes sense or not. Not set is some page where the title is not set. So if you have done it properly, if you have implemented things properly, you should not be seeing this. Okay, but then if you see that from home page, okay, not a lot of users are going to a certain page that you expected to work. Okay, that means your users are not engaged on those lines, and you may start thinking of what marketing intervention has to be done to make it work. Okay, and in some of these cases where you are seeing a lot of users are actually going to a certain page which you expected them to, that gives you a good indication that this is working, and maybe you want to implement more such pages, more such interventions that make users engaged. Now, this is not just about e-commerce, but it could be about any kind of website. So if you have a blogging website where you get hundreds and thousands of users every hour, okay, and you see that your users are going to the homepage and you expect them to go to all the blog pages that you have, but you see that they are going to something like about us or contact us, or some pages that you do not want them to look upfront. Maybe somewhere in the future you want them to look at those pages, but right now you want those engagement to go into the blog pages. Okay, then you have to actually think of what's going wrong. But this data would actually give you an indication of why the engagement is not happening. Not really why, but the engagement is not happening. That part will be clear. In another scenario, if you have a very popular blog and a lot of users come to that blog, and your website also sells some products related to something that is in the blog, and you have all those action items inside the blog so that users are able to see that you have got related products, they have that option to click into the page and check it out. However, what you see is that it's not happening. Users are reading the blog and they're dropping off, right? Which means that the way you have placed those advertisements or those options to go to the product pages is not prominent, or maybe that's not lucrative enough. What can you do, right? So that's the marketing thinking hat that you have to wear after that. But at least at this point, you know that this is the problem, right? So that's what is the role of a path exploration report. You can use it to find out engagement. So with that, I think we have discussed a lot of things in this chapter. So let's quickly close it over here and go to some more exciting stuff. Thank you.